I have a very special guest with me. My youngest daughter, Addison, wanted to jump in on the video today. I said I was going to go record a video and she said, can I go too? And we decided to do it together. So we have got out the latest kit, Created to Create, and I got one out for her too. That way she can use any of the elements that she wants and we can kind of create together. But one of the things I do talk about in this kit is that we need to have that childlike approach to our creativity, so I thought how appropriate that Addison would join me for this one. So where are we starting? Do you remember what verse? Genesis 1:1. This is week 1, and we're starting in Genesis 1:1. So I talk about, in the beginning God created, and what a beautiful way for the Bible to start, don't you think?
Yes.
So in the first several words we talk about creativity in the Bible.
Yeah.
Isn't that neat? So I thought it'd be a fun chance just to celebrate that. Today we can talk about that in our Bible journaling. What do you think of that?
Awesome.
Awesome. All right, well we can go ahead and get started while we're talking. So one of the things that I think is really fun about doing Bible journaling with your kids is they really don't have any expectations of what their art should look like. Like they just kind of jump in and have fun with it. Addison and I talked a little bit about what she might want to work on today just so she would have the supplies near her, but she just jumps in and has so much fun with it, right, Addison?
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about Bible journaling?
It doesn't matter what it looks like. It just matters that you feel close to God.
That's very good, that's right. Good job. So it matters that we're spending time in the Word and kind of praying and talking to God as we're creating, and that's all part of the process, and it doesn't really matter what the final product really looks like, right?
Right.
When you first started Bible journaling, were you a little scared sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Because I thought it mattered what it looked like.
Yeah. So what changed your mind on that?
Like, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
You just enjoy the process. Now we love just kind of sitting down together and talking about what different verses mean and going over them together, but it really is never about the final product, right?
Right.
What do you think about God? Do you think he's pretty creative?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he made the whole entire world.
He made the whole entire world! Isn't that so neat?
Yeah.
And we are made, he made us. And so, don't you think that we have at least a little bit of creativity in us if we are made by this amazing creative God?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I keep on putting the screen up?
So Addison and I are just kind of working through this. We'll each have a different page by the end. But what's important is, why are you laughing?
Because it's really different.
It's really different, yeah, and that's good, right? What, does God make us all the same?
No.
So why would our pages look the same, right?
Right.
So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of creating this little flap so that I don't cover up any of the text below, and then I think I'm going to adhere this somehow. I might want to get a paper clip later and clip that in. And probably layer this on. So I have a little cluster of embellishments here, but I like how in this journaling card I loved the globe, so I wanted to go ahead and cut that out, and then I won't be using this, but I went ahead and cut out my favorite part, and I think that's okay. I also might cut out this little how do you see creativity alive in the world and use that as a prompt down here. And I could also cut out these little asterisk circles with a little circle punch and use them like I'm using these throughout the rest of mine. So I'm not totally wasting this just for that one piece. I'm going to incorporate the rest of those embellishments into my journaling. I also pulled out this created word, but I'm not quite sure if I'm going to use it yet, so I'm just kind of playing around with that. Addison, what are you working on over there?
I'm trying to make the page like the globe. So like this, but without the designs.
Yeah, so we had a similar idea, right? As we kind of both wanted it to be about the world because God created this amazing world with us. We're so blessed to be a part of it.
Right.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and use this Genesis 1:1 sticker because that's the verse we're working on. So instead of having it go right way, I think I'm gonna point to it this way. I just like to have some sort of indication of what verse it was that I was talking about as I was working on this page. That way when I come back and look at it later, that's there for me. So another thing I really like to do is to have some sort of signal that ties all my pages together, and I've decided for this one to go ahead and use the washi tape on each of my pages along the gutter of the page, and so that way when I see that, I know that that comes from the Created to Create kit. What do you think, Addie?
What? Sorry.
Do you like to have a way to connect your different pages, or do you just like to go with the flow?
What do you mean by connect?
Like when I work in this kit, I want all the pages that I work on in this kit to have this little piece of washi tape on it, so I know that they are all connected.
Oh, I don't. I go with the flow.
You go with the flow, and that. Which one do you think is right? My way or your way?
Both.
Yeah, whatever you feel is right. That's how you should do it, right?
Great.
So I did go ahead and pull out some paint, and I'm not going to add a ton of paint to this page, but I did want to add some paint, just little art marks across the page to kind of carry the color across the page.
Oops.
And so I've just put some different paint colors on here that I thought would match. I have a kind of salmon-y color that got all over the place, a pink, a light pink color, white, and some of the blues and greens from the kit as well. And I could have pulled an orange. There is a beautiful orange in here as well. Sure. So I'm just going to do little marks to kind of replicate some of the art marks that are happening on the earth that I cut out. And what's kind of fun about this process is there's no messing up. Like really you can do whatever you want. It's supposed to be very abstract, and so it should just be a fun process for you. Yeah, maybe more of a burnt orange, like a darker orange if we have it.
Like, what?
Never mind, it's okay. I'll just use what I have. Thank you though, sweetie.
This?
Yeah, that'll be good. So I'm just kind of pulling some color across the page in different formations so that it kind of pulls it all together, and grabbing a different paintbrush for each color. That way each color kind of has a different look as well. And what are you using there, Addison? What are those called? Do you remember? Show them the tin. Neo colors.
They're like watercolors?
Yeah, so they're watercolor crayons, right?
Yeah.
And you can use them wet or dry, right? You can get them wet and get a little bit more of a watercolor look. But they're just a really fun technique. Lots of vibrant colors, which is really fun.
Yeah.
All sorts of fun things, huh? I like your, are those landmarks?
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
And that's another great point, is that it doesn't have to be super realistic even when you are doing something that kind of represents something that's realistic, right? Kind of can just be fun and abstract. Abstract is in, right? I'm gonna grab some yellow really quick. I'll be right back. Okay, so I was trying to find my air dryer, but I cannot find it anywhere, so I'm guessing that it got misplaced at one of my workshops. So I'll just have to let it dry the old-fashioned way with patience. So as you can see here, I need to add a little bit more washi tape because I put too much on the back. So I need to come back up here and reapply that. Addison, what did you work on over there?
So I colored these with light and a dark green, and then I just like colored it had light blue and I did with dark blue. So I used these for green and these for blue.
To kind of blend some colors, right?
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna dip it in some water and just stroke.
Okay, so while I'm waiting for that paint just to dry a little bit more before I add the white on, I have decided for this kit I want to go ahead and add, that's so pretty, isn't it? So Addison's now adding some water to her Neo colors and kind of seeing that really cool effect of what happens when you do that. So when you're doing that, you want to just be careful if you're wanting the blue and green to stay separate, not to go over them too much together. So do all the blue first and then go back and do the green, okay? So fun, right?
Yeah.
Good job. Okay, so I've decided to go ahead and add these into the gutter of the pages as I'm working through this kit. Last month I did a mini book with the cards, and I've talked about some different ways to use them, using them in your traveler's notebook and also just inserting them right into your Bible. So all those different ways, I want to kind of show the different ways in which, you know, I think that they can be used, just to give you guys some ideas. But honestly, if you think every month I want to make a mini album, or every month I want to put them in my planner, like whatever works best for you, I just want to give you guys like a ton of ideas. So what I'm doing now is making a washi tape hinge, is what I call it. So I'm going to put some of the washi on here, and then I'm going to flip it back, and then I'm going to put it in the gutter of the page, as close to that gutter as I can get it without it sticking down first. So right in the center. And then I'm going to push this down. So now I've made this little flap for myself, and I'll go back.
Sorry.
You're fine. And I'll add washi in here as well. So it's going to kind of layer on top of my paintbrush washi, but that is okay with me. And then again, just can kind of flip open. And that way I have this little reference point for the rest of this, and that's just how I'm going to work through this kit. But again, each kit I've done it a completely different way, so it's totally up to you and your preference. So I want to come in here and add some white, but I think I might use a card to do that, so I'll be right back. You getting yours all dried off, Addison?
Yeah, I think I put a little too much water.
Yeah, when that happens, you just gotta let it dry. So since we don't have the air dryer, we'll just have to be patient again, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Can we, go use paper towels or no?
Yeah, you can get a paper towel if you like. So I'm just
back.
Be right back. So I'm just adding a little bit of white over this paint to kind of calm it down a little bit, so it doesn't pop out quite so much. I do like the mint green. I think it gives a nice color, just to kind of calm it down. And this is a step, if you like that extra strong color across the page, like go ahead and keep it. This is just a different way of, you know, if you want to calm it down a little bit or add a little more layers on there, whatever you prefer is exactly how you should do it. Okay, so we'll let that dry again. As you can see, I did go ahead and attach my number 1. I've decided to use these little banners to kind of document my different entries throughout this kit by putting a number on it to know that it correlates with the first entry, and then go from there. So you're just picking up the extra water with your paper towel, right?
Yeah.
Good job.
Can't really see the words.
It's okay. You're doing a great job. I can see the words, yeah. You're doing a good job. Oh, Pepper's now joining us. The dog has joined us. It's been quite an adventurous day.
Pepper.
So I did want to go ahead, once my paint is dry, and add some stamping to the bottom. But again, I'm going to wait for that to dry a little bit more. I do like that I can still flip this up. I think I will add some washi tape right here, just white washi tape, I think, just to strengthen up that little edge.
Do you think we should let her in?
Yeah, she can come in. She's just gonna keep asking to come in until we let her in. The puppy wants to be with us, huh? So I'm looking for my little asterisk. Let me see if I can find it. Might have lost it for right now. We'll do the orange one. Just to add a little pop right there. I think I will use my little tiny attacher. Lots of layering here. So again, I'm just gonna wait for this to dry a little before we keep painting on top of it. I've added my card here, and I think we're ready to do some stamping at the bottom.
Okay.
All right, what are you gonna do next, Addison?
I think I'm gonna put some paintbrushes, like.
Yes.
Or no.
I like that the paintbrushes kind of represent creativity.
Yeah.
So one of the things we talked about in our devotional was how when you're a child, you bring your art projects to your parents and think they are going to love this, and you show them with such pride. And that's what we need to do when we're creating things with Jesus. What do you think of that?
I like it.
When you make things, do you bring them to me and say, oh, Mom, look what I did?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do I love it?
Yes.
Or do I say, oh, you could have done better?
The first one.
The first one. You have to think about that one for a second. Right, because I love all the things you create. I think they're just so beautiful, and I love the time that you took to do them, and I love the passion that you put into them, and it's just so much fun to see as your parent. So how do you think God feels when we make things and do this in the Bible and use this as a reflection of what He's teaching us?
Proud.
Yeah.
Do you think I can use this page?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Do you think He's ever like, you really could have you could have done it like so-and-so?
No.
No, what do you think He does?
I think He's always proud of us.
Yeah, He is. He's created each one of us to be what?
To be inspired and be creative.
And do you think He creates us all the same? Or do you think each one of us...
And to be different.
Yes, to be different. So if we are created differently, do you think that the way we create would also be different?
What?
If we're each created differently, do you also think that the way we create will be different too then? Or do you think how we all create should be exactly the same?
We should, the first one.
Be unique?
Yeah.
Because God's made us each different, right?
Right.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So one of the things I'm doing is just taking out the little prompt on here and actually just applying it into my Bible page, almost like word fetty. So I have a little extra journaling prompt here. So I'm gonna add those down there. I do want to create some sort of title here, and I originally was going to use this created, but I think I'm gonna save that for another entry. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this in here. And the reason I'm adding this in now and not doing my journaling first is this is kind of how I dedicate different journaling spots for different things. I also like that this little cluster of paint is here, kind of anchoring it down a little bit as well. And I'm gonna make them a little crooked. I like doing that with Wordfetti again, so it's not perfect. So that way I've allocated this amount of journaling here. I do want to still do some sort of title up here. I haven't decided exactly what that will look like yet. And then journaling down here. I haven't decided if I want to use any more of these stickers. I am liking this Amen sticker for right here. Okay, so I went ahead and stuck down my title in the beginning. I'm gonna go ahead and journal about how God is the creative God, and He was creative as He made us, and therefore we are creative. I also have my journaling prompt, so I'm gonna do some journaling here. The way that my title laid out, I do have the space here that I'm gonna wanna take care of, either by adding some design elements or something in there before I'm done. So just kind of keeping aware. Okay, so I am almost done. How are you feeling about yours?
I like it.
Are you gonna do your journaling later once we're done filming?
Yeah.
So what is something that I haven't added to my page yet? Do you remember?
You have not added the date.
The date? Well, why is that important, do you think?
Because you should like remember, like if you're going through the Bible and like you say like, oh, this is the day, da da da.
Right, that I worked on this page and this is what God taught me on that day. Do you want to add it on yours, or are you gonna wait till you're done journaling? Okay. So I think I'm just about done. I will probably later add a little bit of white again on top once I can allow it to dry a little bit. I also need to add something here. So I have a couple different options. I could add a sticker. So let me just show you what I'm saying. Oh, the battery's almost dead. Could add a little sticker, or I could add some paint or something like that. Okay, so one of the things I talked about was just wanting to fix this little spot in here. So one of my favorite things to actually use by doing that is hearts.
Where are my hearts?
Because a heart is always a great way to start a title. So I think that kind of helps balance it out. There you go, a good picture of the hearts.
You're welcome.
And then the last thing I want to do right now is, I said in this painting I wanted to semi-mimic some of the things happening in the globe pattern. And as you can see, there's little crosses with a maroon color. So I pulled out a maroon pen, and I'm gonna go ahead and add some of those just on some of these little art marks here.
I love these hearts because they're like see-through.
You like the clear stickers?
Yeah.
She takes after her mama that way, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. While I'm working on this, do you want to read your journaling to everyone under here?
Sure.
Alright, what does it say?
Hold on. Okay, so I used all my hearts.
She doesn't worry about running out of things, do you? She likes to use it, and that's how we all should be. I want you guys to use this kit just to get creative and get in the Word. Alright, what does it say, sweetie?
He said, thank you, Lord. I love you so much. Thank you for making the world. I'll take lots of pictures of it.
I love that last part. She said, I'll take lots of pictures. That's so cute. Alright, so as you can see, I've just pulled out different marker styles to kind of get different looks here. Again, just kind of replicating some of that in there. I also pulled out the white one as well, because I like to add little white dots on top of some of the darker points. But that is about it for our first entry together, Addison and Created to Create. Are you excited to work through this kit?
Yeah.
Yes, and we are all creative, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Because God made us like that.
Because God made us like that. Are you the cutest thing ever?
Yeah.
I really encourage you guys to get in there. This is a great kit to do with your kids, just to encourage their creativity and their process, and to sit next to them and be creative and talk about Jesus. It's just a wonderful way to spend a Saturday afternoon, right?
Right.
Right. All right. Well, we hope you guys have the most fantastic day. Please leave a comment below. Let us know how you're doing with this kit, how you are being creative. If you're doing this with anyone, share their name, give us a tag. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us some love. All right. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thumbs up.
Bye.
Bye.